Welcome to IELTS Dragon. Today, let me answer IELTS Speaking Part 1 recent topic about language or learning a language. This video lesson is divided into two parts. In the first part, you will learn how to answer the 4 questions about language that can surely help you achieve your target band score. And in the second part, I will share more ideas, topic vocabulary words, and collocations about this topic, so you won't have any difficulty producing your own answers and thinking of the right words or collocations that you want to use. Join me in this video lesson and let me help you ace your exam. But before anything else, if you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the subscribe button or those 2 arrows that appear on your screen. Thank you so much. Now, let's begin. First question, what languages can you speak? Well, aside from my native language and English, I can also speak Spanish in conversational level. I studied that language as my minor subject in college for 4 years. Actually, when I was a high school student, I was an avid fan of watching some TV dramas from Spain. And I fell in love with the Spanish culture, and that influenced me to take up Spanish language as my secondary language subject in college. Here, I used a very good expression aside from to introduce my answer. This is a good indicator that I could speak more than one language. As the question is in the plural form, asking languages, I needed to give at least 2 languages that I'm capable of speaking. So I included my native language and English as my answer and provided another language, which is Spanish. I didn't spend time talking about my native language and English. Instead, I talked about Spanish, which is the second language that I've learned. Also, I extended my answer by talking about my experience in learning Spanish. This helped me add details to my answer. It's a very spontaneous and clear answer. Always make sure to add a bit more of your answer in part 1 in order for you not to give a short answer. Let's continue. Do you aim a band 7 or higher? You can do it. Second question. Do you think it's difficult to learn a language? Yes, it is difficult, and for some people, it's more complicated than they thought. I believe no one claims it's easy unless one is born genius learning languages. And that's because the sentence construction, vocabulary, pronunciation, and other aspects of a language that one is learning are different from his mother tongue. Actually, experiencing the challenges in learning a new language is just normal. Alright, here I provided a positive and direct answer to the question. Then talked about my belief that other people are having more difficulty in learning a language than others. Meaning to say, there are always people who are really struggling in learning a language compared to others. Then I gave the main reason as to why learning a language is never easy. That's the most important part of my answer, as that supports my argument very clearly. Make sure to provide a clear explanation to every answer that you give to the examiner to avoid confusion. Let's proceed to the next question. Third question. Will you learn other languages in the future? Let me read the first answer. Yes, I will. I'm not closing the door on things that can contribute to my growth. I'm thinking of learning Japanese simply because I want to understand the Japanese culture even more. I always believe that to understand one country's culture, one should learn the local language, and if you can speak their language, it's easy for you to establish rapport with them. Okay, so here, I gave a direct positive answer plus a very good expression that would help me express my answer better. Also, I gave one particular example of a language that I'm interested in learning. Then after that, I ended my answer by giving my reflective thought about learning a language. It's a well-expressed idea, and it's a straightforward answer. Always express your answer directly and clearly. Now let's continue. Fourth question. Why did you learn English and how did you learn it? Let me read the first answer. Well, it's not really my own decision to learn the English language in the first place. In our country, it's mandatory to learn that language in school since English education is part of every school's curriculum. So we're left with no choice but to study English. Honestly, I didn't see the value of it when I was in primary and secondary school. However, when I was in college, I realized how lucky I was to learn English at a young age. Alright, so here I talked about the school's curriculum in my country that obliged every student to learn English. This kind of answer gave a clear insight as to why I was studying English. I then transitioned to talking about my realization on how fortunate I was to learn English early. It's a very well explained answer. Always make sure to always provide a clear explanation to all of your answers in order for you to satisfy the examiner. Let's continue. Now, let me give you some more ideas and topic vocabulary words about this topic so it'll be easy for you to develop your own answers. First, we have the words mother tongue. This is another term for the words native language or first language. You can use this to describe about your first language. Next, we have the word polyglot, someone who can speak many languages. You can use this as one of your answers to those questions we answered earlier. Like you can say, I dream to become a polyglot, so I am learning 5 languages these days for me to achieve that bold goal. Third idea, we have secondary language, which of course refers to the second language that you are learning. You might have heard this abbreviation ESL, which stands for English as a Second Language. You can use this in one of your answers, like saying, due to the existence of ESL online schools, a lot of students from around the world have improved their English communication skills. And finally, we have the term globalization, which refers to the business interaction between countries in the world, and English plays an important role for that. We can say, if not because of globalization, people will not be exposed to other languages. Another good example is, in order for me to be globally competitive, I need to learn not just English, but Chinese as well. Using any of these words and ideas can surely help you express your answers better. Now, let's proceed to some phrases which you can use when talking about language. Now, I have here some sample phrases with the word language. First, command of language. Example, he has a great command of English that helps him get a job very easily. Try using that phrase in your actual IELTS speaking exam. Show your good command of English to your examiner. Also, I have the expressions knowledge of language and mastery of language. That is from the word master, meaning being able to speak a particular language excellently. The last one is brush up on my English language skills, which simply means to review my English language skills, which are somehow partly forgotten. For example, this summer I will brush up on my English language skills because I'm going to study abroad next year. So these expressions can aid you in creating better answers to questions and for sure help you boost your mark in the criterion lexical resource. Use some of these phrases for you to sound like native. Alright, well, if you found value to this lesson, please support this channel by subscribing. And that's all for this IELTS Speaking Part 1 recent topic about language or learning a language. Thank you so much. Until the next lesson, have a lovely day.